Hello and welcome. I'm Annie, aka Android, and I hope you enjoy my fourth ever attempt at casting. This game was submitted to the Dota 2 cast at Reddit by DJ Slambert with a pretty interesting title. It looks like it's a 2.3k bracket ranked game, so we'll get to see lots of mid-level playing and maybe some ideas on how to critique play and get better in the future, but also just some really clutch plays. I've seen really awesome plays come out of the mid and lower bracket MMRs with a lot of cool hero compositions. And it looks like the Radiant team is going to be picking a lot of hard carries here. I'm going to say right off the bat that if this game goes, beyond probably 25 minutes, it's going to be very heavily in the Radiant's favor, just because of the different, the ways that they can farm up and just get really, really huge. So starting off, we're going to have August on the Phantom Assassin, Lord Ban on the Morphling, Kevin on the Troll Warlord. Oh boy, Troll Warlord, that's a rare one. Billy Has on the Ursa, and looks like a mid-invoker being played by Bratmus. On the Dire side, we have a mid-Storm Spirit being played by Instinct, Slambert on the Abaddon, Decon 15 on the Legion Commander, Derail on the Crystal Maiden, and finally, Ymanskin on the Nyx Assassin. So it looks like early contest should be at the top rune. A Storm Spirit and an Ursa are going to line up here and see what's going on, who can win. It looks like Storm should be able to get some harass on him unless he gets too close and allows Ursa to get some hits. Although Troll's going to walk in and just get a free hit on Storm Spirit. One in return. They do a similar amount of damage, so it shouldn't be that much of a deal. On the top rune, there's 3 Radiant heroes, and it looks like there's only going to be 2 Dire, with Ursa saying, this is my rune. He's standing right in that spot. Doesn't really care if this Legion Commander trades a few hits with him. Down bottom, rune is getting pinged out. There's a Storm Spirit and an Abaddon ready to contest it, with a Morphling and a PA, so this could be pretty interesting. Abaddon taking some early harass, and let's see who's going to end up taking it. Looks like Storm Spirit will get it on the bottom, and Ursa's going to take the rune on the top, so overall even trade for both teams, with Radiant getting the top rune and Dire getting the bottom. There's an Observer Ward put up on bottom lane by the Dire, so they do have vision of this Radiant area right here. So bot lane looks like it's going to be a PA and a Morphling, so they're going to be fighting for farm a little bit, unless... Is it more of a support PA? I'm not really sure. Either way, it looks like there's going to be a lot of farming going on the Radiant side, until they get big enough to start farming some heroes. So it is going to be an Ursa, with an Invoker, on the Radiant side, going up against a Legion Commander and a support Crystal Maiden. So that should be a pretty easy lane for the Dire, if they can get a good amount of harass off from the Crystal Maiden. Although, is this a support Invoker? I'm not really sure what's going on here. Invoker is getting a lot of harass off on the Legion Commander, who does have to use one of her tangos already. And he will be leveling Quas first. So I'm not sure if he's planning to go a Quas Wex build, or if he's just getting kind of that value point early on. I'm not super comfortable with how Invoker works, so either way. So down bottom, there's the Dire, Nyx, and Abaddon. Looks like it'll be a support Abaddon, picking up all sorts of clarities to keep his mana up. And PA Dagger coming on just to harass the Nyx. So, just based on the hero composition and the meta right now, especially with the Troll doing how he is in mid lane, I would say that the Dire have to have a really commanding lead by about 25 minutes, or they're just going to get smushed by this Dire team if their carries have time to farm and get big. Top lane, Legion is taking some more harass. She's down to 1 tango, so she's been eating it from Invoker. Invoker's still continuing to harass. He does pick up his Cold Snap after getting his level 2 Invoke, so he's trying to do as much damage as possible and hurt them. Looks like Morphling will be going for the double damage rune bottom. He does end up picking that up pretty free of contest. And the PA trying to get some more harass on these heroes. Abaddon at about half health, although he does have an Aphotic Shield ready if he needs it. Morphling with his double damage, hitting for about 108 per hit, and at level 2, this is just a really big advantage. He's doing it on the Abaddon, but can't really get in without taking too much tower harass. Abaddon popping his shield on a creep, doesn't really get much done there, but is just a good way to let the Radiant team know that he has that skill and he's ready to fight if he needs to. Slambert walking into the double damage Morphling is taking a lot of damage. Will he end up punishing for this? He does have his Aphotic Shield, goes down right away. Nyx decides to turn. Can he get a Impale? He has 8 seconds on that, but it looks like Morphling will go down. Abaddon does end up getting return killed by the PA, but no, PA will be fine. She's totally okay from that. So it will be a 1-for-1 trade down in the bottom lane, but I do believe that the Dire came out on top of that because they did get a Morphling down and only lost an Abaddon. So in terms of the farm war, Morphling needs that time in lane to farm a lot more than the Abaddon does. Storm Spirit has his Null Talisman, which is pretty good. Let's just put on the net worth chart right here. It looks like Ursa is getting some pretty heavy farm. Looks like he's had his little babysitter Invoker to hit everyone real nice. Looks like Invoker does grab a point in Exhort, so he now has his Sunstrike in case anyone gets away too low for comfort. Crystal Maiden popping a Clarity, keeping herself nice and up. She has not leveled her Arcane Aura, so she does that soon. Her team will be very grateful for all the mana. Legion putting down some arrows just to keep them at bay, but they are pushing him pretty close to the tower. Legion with no regen left aside from her Magic Stick with 2 charges. She has used up all of her tangos, so she has definitely been taking a lot of harass in this lane. It has not been that easy for her. She does have 16 last hits. Crystal Maiden popping a cold freezing field on this Ursa. Who is going to win? Sunstrike comes out, and it looks like the Legion commander will go down, and Ursa will survive with just a minuscule amount of health left. Really well played by the Invoker, casting that Sunstrike where he knows the Legion's going to be.
My waters rise.
Regen rune up top is unspotted by both teams. There's no ward vision on that. But down bottom, Morphling does grab the bounty rune. Phantom Assassin is low mana, probably has a dagger or 2 left in her before she's fresh out. Looks like she will be building phase boots, I believe. Morphling still no boots, but he does have 3 tangos left, so he hasn't been harassed so much after his first death. Regen rune is still sitting there. Not much contest going for that. Neither mid has scouted it out. Storm Spirit is pushing up to the Radiant side, but it's a troll. In this meta, troll can just 3-click some creeps. Nyx taking a dagger slows him up real nice. He does get a shield on him though, so if he goes near the Radiant creeps, he'll do a nice amount of damage when that pops. Abaddon taking another dagger. But PA is now fresh out of mana. There's not much follow-up she can pop on that.
Missing middle.
Morphling is having a real hard time farming. He's only at 4 last hits and 1 deny. So he could use a lot of help. This PA is doing the best she can. Sitting at 5 last hits and 3 denies, but it looks like the bottom is being controlled by this Nyx and Abaddon dual lane. Up top I did unfortunately miss the Ursa and the Invoker going down. Looks like Storm Spirit wandered in and got a nice bunch of kills on that, so good job on the Storm Spirit for the early roam. He can do that. He does have his bottle and his tread, so he's sitting on a pretty nice mana pool right now for 6 minutes in the game. Ursa is angry about that death, has 25 last hits, so he has a good amount of farm. He does have his phase boots, Culling Blade, and Stout Shield, so he is trying to do a good amount of running away. He does get frozen out by the Crystal Maiden. Tries to go in for a return chase on the Legion, but decides better of it and just grabs a couple last hits. Down bottom, there will be a fight breaking out as the Nyx goes down to the Troll Warlord. As the Troll Warlord follows in Storm's footsteps and does a gank. Abaddon shielding himself up, he will be a-okay in this fight. Morphling is morphing strength just to keep the HP up a little bit. Grabs a tango. He's doing alright. PA is pretty low. She might want to think about heading back to base before Abaddon does something nasty, or the Storm Spirit coming in, and Abaddon goes down, but can he pick up the kill on Phantom Assassin? He does in that one last right click, but now his life is in danger. His mana pool is shrunk way down low. Nyx doing the best he can to protect his team, popping the spike characters. Will they get another kill? Storm does get a kill on this Troll Warlord. Great plays by the Storm. I thought for sure he was going to go down there. Morphling is stuck in the trees right now. Nyx finds him. Is he going to be able to loop around? He does get hit by the Impale, and Nyx will finish him off. So really well played by the Dire team. It looks like even though the Radiant has their 5 cores, if the Dire team can get ahead, enough by the 20-30 minute mark, there's really nothing that the Radiant team can do, even if all their people are hard hitters. Invoker now has his Meatball and Sunstrike, so he's looking to punish anyone that gets too close to him. Down bottom, it's just the PA left in lane, trying to soak as much as they can, while the Storm does stay there, trying to pick up maybe a little bit of farm. Although we could use a trip back to mid, it is now taking creep harass. Troll porting into top lane. Let's see what he's trying to get out of that. It's worth mentioning that the Dire team is now rotating in. They're trying to really punish this Morphling that's had such a hard game so far. Storm is now top on of the net worth at a little over 4.6k. He is now fresh out of mana, having only 17 left. He does have no bottle charges left, and his boots are already on int, so he's straight out of there. He's looking to maybe go pick up this rune, this illusion rune, and get some more mana in his bottle. He is going to take it and pop it right away so he can drink up from that bottle. Up top, bounty rune still unclaimed and unseen, but not a whole lot of priority there. Troll Warlord is looking to wrap around and get this Legion, but he does get blocked in by the creeps. Tornado and Meteor popping out, though. Troll should be able to get this kill pretty easily. Will he be able to grab the Crystal Maiden as well? Lucky bash for that Troll Warlord. So it looks like the last hit on the Legion Commander does go to the Invoker, so there's a nice bit of experience being split among these two players. Down bottom, Storm does get another kill on the Phantom Assassin, so this lane's going really easy for Storm. He's having a great game so far. He already has one of his Oblivion Staffs, so he should be building his Orchid in great time. It looks like he is chasing pretty far after this Morphling. He might have to give up his pursuit. He is pretty low mana, but he does end up getting another kill. Very well played by the Storm Spirit, and he zips away from the tower hits. So, doesn't look like anyone's going to be able to chase him down. The Ursa is preoccupied in the pit. I don't know if he'll be able to finish this Roshan on time. He is taking a lot of damage, and he doesn't have a completed Vlad, it's just a Morbid Mask, so I don't know if he has enough regen to do this. Storm is not going to scout that out, but it would be such an easy kill if anyone from the Dire had vision of that. Ursa is just having a really hard time on this Roshan. He does chunk him down a fair amount with that overpower, but will he be taken down to a couple lucky bashes by the Roche? No, it looks like Ursa will be picking up a nicely timed Aegis at 9:45.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Morphling trying to get in the game a little bit, picking up his Wraith Band. Still only brown boots, nothing left on him. He only has 15 last hits to 1 deny. So this game could be going a lot easier for him, but he did have a second core in his lane, so it wasn't like he had a support to do all his babysitting. Ursa's now in bottom lane trying to pick up some farm there, sitting at a very comfortable 40 last hits. Looks like the Dire are realizing that this is a priority, and they rotate in the Storm Spirit, as well as the Nyx in his Vendetted form, and the Abaddon. There is a double damage rune up top, but this is where the action is, and there's no way I'm moving my mouse. Looks like Ursa will get brought down initially. Aegis is popped. Storm taking some harass to the Morphling. Will he be able to zip out on time? He does seem to get out just fine. Although he is going to try to zip away from this Ursa. Morphling trying to go in for the last hit under tower, but Storm will bring him down. Can he also bring down the Ursa? The Abaddon's ult gets popped. Storm is super, super low, but he will take down the Ursa for the second time, so Aegis is down. Nyx picks up a second kill on the Phantom Assassin. Sunstrike comes out, but is off the mark, and I don't think it would have been able to take down the Storm anyway. He has just a little bit too much HP. So it looks like he will have a very nicely timed Orchid, as he does sit very comfortably on the net worth chart. And in terms of KDA, he is at 7 and 3, so really well done for the Storm Spirit at only 11 minutes in. At the bottom of the KDA chart is the Morphling, who has been struggling a fair amount this game. He's now rotated to top, and he's 0 and 4. So, yeah, he's just really not able to get what he needs. He does grab his Gloves of Haste, so it looks like he's trying to build up some treads, but man, the timing on those is just going to be really, really unfortunate if he's trying to end up being a farmed core. Double damage rune still sitting at top for the, well, both teams anyway, but there is no vision. Troll does come to pick it up. No bottle, so he's just going to activate that right away, and it looks like he might be trying to rotate top and punish this Crystal Maiden.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Crystal Maiden with her Tranquil Boots. Looks like she will get caught out by this Troll and the Invoker. Does freeze up the Troll, but there's not much she can do. Sunstrike coming out. Will be off the mark a little bit. Can a right-click finish her off? Looks like Troll will be able to do the job just fine. Abaddon is rotating in top, trying to stop this 4-person push by the Dire team with a double damage Troll. Morphling does pop a Replicate, but that thing is pretty squishy right now. Double damage Troll is doing a lot of damage to the Legion. Morphling going in, popping the Abaddon ult, but not being able to do much out of that. Mist Coil comes off, but not much they can do. Invoker, Meatball, and Tornado comes out. Will finish off the Abaddon, whose ult was previously popped. The Storm's coming in for revenge. Will get brought down by the Troll, who's only left at about 83 health. It's a really good pick off for the Radiant team. They do get that Storm Spirit that's been causing them so much trouble. So now Storm does have his 1 death to his 8 kills, which is still very well played by the Storm Spirit, but it is making the Radiant's, or the Dire's job just a little bit easier, it's making the Dire's job a little bit harder, stopping these 5 snowbally cores that are now picking off the first tower of the game up top. Down bottom there's a bounty rune, scouted out by this Dire Observer ward. Doesn't look like anyone's in a position to go rotate for that. Looks like PA is trying to catch up on some far mid, but a Abaddon will be TPing down to try to give her a little bit of a hard time. Still with level 1 boots. Not really much she can grab out of that, with only 12 last hits at 13 minutes in the game. Abaddon will be picking up this bounty rune. I'm sorry, there's a fire drill in my building. I've gotta go. I am so sorry about that. The fire alarm just went off in my building. Oh, burnt popcorn. What a peril of college life. So, back to the game. I totally forget what was happening. Okay. Looks like Abaddon and CM will be duoing up in mid for the Dire team, trying to push in this Radiant Tier 1 tower. They are now 1 tower behind, as Radiant did grab the top tower earlier. Troll is pushing up pretty far into the Dire jungle without much vision. Rune spot is pinged out by the Dire. Looks like they're trying to camp for that 14-minute rune, which will go to Abaddon, taking up that double damage. I'm not sure that was the best choice on their team, but he was there and it was convenient, so he looks like he's trying to rotate top and get some kills there. Or maybe not, maybe just pushing in mid.
Warning.
Looks like down bottom Storm Spirit will end up picking off an Ursa. Sorry for missing that kill right there. So looks like a lone Invoker trying to defend against this 4-man Dire rotation to the mid lane, with Storm sitting over here in the trees ready to zip in when it gets nice and pushed up to the high ground. Alright, so this double damage Abaddon is going to start whacking on the tower. Meatball and Tornado will come up. Abaddon's ult immediately gets popped, and he does pop an Aphotic Shield, trying to get the most out of the damage he has. But he's now no longer double damage, and it's time for him to get out. Looks like Radiant will be trying to go in for the cleanups. Storm grabs one, but Troll ult being popped with the Morphling, that's going to hurt. Crystal Maiden ult being popped, though, that's going to take a nice chunk out of the Radiant team. Crystal Maiden picks herself up a double kill, but looks like she might be going down to the PA dagger. So overall, the Radiant team's able to take down 3 cores for the... Sorry, the Dire team's able to take down 3 cores of the Radiant team, only trading a Crystal Maiden in return. But, you know, I don't even really know how to call out these cores, because it looks like the Radiant team is all cores.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Down bottom, Legion Commander is able to pick up a Radiant tower, so that will pick the tower exchange back 1-1. And looks like Dire are actually taking this game home against 5 Radiant cores, whether it's because they didn't have sufficient time to farm or cramped lanes, but I don't know, it looks like they're doing it. Net gold is in favor of the Dire. It's been going pretty back and forth, but Dire looks like after that last fight and that last tower kill, have plenty of gold at their expense. In terms of XP, it's been pretty much in Dire's favor the whole game. Legion going in for a duel, but will she get it in time? She will not get it in time, but she will get the pick off on the Morphling. But a Meatball and Tornado comes out, Spike Carapace by the Nyx, but not able to dispel much of that damage. It looks like he might end up going down. He does go down to an Invoker right click. And it looks like Ursa with his phase boots is trying to take down this Legion. Will she get away in time? She does not. She does end up getting killed by the Ursa and his angry little Earth Shock and Fury swipes. Down bottom, Storm is able to pick off an Ursa, get some revenge, but is immediately killed off by this Phantom Assassin. So that's putting her in a pretty good place at 3 kills, 4 deaths. Not ideally where she'd like to be. She only does have her Morbid Mask and level 1 boots, but a lot better than where she was about 10 minutes ago, which was starving for farm and stuck in the lane. So the rotations are paying off for the Radiant team, but are they getting enough farm and kills in exchange for the rough start that they had? Looks like Abaddon will be trying to solo against this Invoker, but Invoker is quite a bit bigger than him.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Invoker having his phase boots and a couple of items, while Abaddon is sitting on only his tranquils and a headdress with a soul ring. So definitely a mana problem for this Abaddon, very cast heavy this game. Up top, Crystal Maiden is trying to pick up what lane farm she can, having only a Bracer and some Tranquil Boots to her name. But she is sitting on 1100 gold, so she should be able to pick up an item pretty soon. Storm does zip into the mid lane, trying to contest this 4-person Radiant wad, I guess is the best term for it. It is interesting to note all this Dire vision. There's a ward right there, And up there, Radiant and Dire Vision in the jungle, which are all about to expire, but really good job keeping wards up in the enemy territory. Storm is gonna pick off this, oh, not going for the bounty rune, he's going for some kills, although he will end up drinking his bottle and taking the bounty rune as well. So Storm is in very deep enemy territory, taking a dagger, and now everyone knows where he is. he needs to get out of there, he's too little for this. Alright, so there will be a pause coming out. Looks like Slambert on the Abaddon does need some time. Morphling unpausing. Not sure if they're because they're a douche or whatnot, but there will be some fight over this pause. Looks like the Dire team are taking turns pausing the game, and the Radiant is just undoing it right away. It will stay in motion for a little bit here. Legion is not too pleased with that unpausing, but that's okay. Down bottom there's an invisibility rune scouted out by only the Radiant as the Dire Observer Ward does expire. Courier sitting in the secret shop is able to pick up an energy booster for Instinct. Crystal Maiden ult being popped for an illusion. Oh no, they got baited so hard. Alright, at least Storm has a sense of humor about it. So down bottom, no one's going to be able to scout out that. No one looks like they're going for that Invis rune right away. Although this PA is getting in dangerous territory with this Legion, who has her duel ready.
They have rules for this.
Nyx grabs an invisibility rune, although that's pretty good. His ult does still have a 45-second cooldown, so he is super invisible right now. Down bottom, down mid, Storm Spirit does pick off a very unfortunate Morphling. That now put Morphling at 0 and 7. So a really tough game for that watery little blub. Ursa is trying to pick off this Legion commander, but she does have a crazy amount of regen. She will still end up going down to a Troll Warlord. That's the last thing you want to do, is feed that Troll some last hits. Alright, Invoker will pick off the Nyx, and Troll ult being popped to try to get the Storm, who is fresh out of mana, and Troll does pick up another last hit on that as well. So, really rough fight for the Dire team right now. Crystal Maiden trying to TP out, but she is just bare food. Ursa filling up all his slots, but Roshan is up, so I don't know whether Ursa or Troll is going to try to grab that next Aegis, but the Radiant team have scouted it out, so it's up for them to decide. So 4 dead on the Dire team. Really rough fight for them. What changed in XP is that it's almost back to 0, less than 1,000 advantage. Or, strike that, it is way up in the Radiant's favor right now after that team fight. Just updated. Dire trying to do what they can, but this might be the moment 20 minutes in where the Radiant team just gets too much hard carry to the Dire's squish. I mean, aside from a possibly tanky Legion, what other tank does this team have? Abaddon ult being popped, it is down for 50 seconds. Troll ult being popped to try to get this tower down bottom. Dire Fortify comes out, but expires pretty damn quickly, and it looks like there shouldn't be any problem getting this down, as Troll is now hitting for about 150 a pop. Morphling end up getting the last hit for that tower. That should help him out a little bit. He does now have his Agi Treads. Nyx revealing his ult form, but he is going to go down so quick for that. He does stun some up with the Spike Carapace. Storm is able to pick off the Phantom Assassin down bottom, and Nyx will pay for his life. Storm now trying to go in 1v2. Can he do it? He's taken on a Troll, but a Morphling and a very angry Troll might get the best of him. Storm does end up getting a double kill with the kill on the Troll, now cutting through the trees real good, and yeah, looks like Storm should get away just fine with this Morphling chasing him down. Low mana though, and not much he can do with that. And it looks like Phantom Assassin will be pinging out the Roche Pit. Dire Courier coming in, trying to see what's going on. So Troll does now have his completed Orchid, but Ursa does pick off the Roshan and takes another Aegis. So in order to sell that, he did sell his Quelling Blade, but that's not too big of a deal for him now after he does a little over 100 per hit. Legion trying to push in this top lane for some energy there. Bounty Rune sitting up top. Illusion Rune going to the Ursa, trying to see if maybe they can get another one of those great baits, popping all the ults on that one Illusion mid a couple minutes ago. He's now setting the Illusion mid, trying to see what they can do with that. Looks like they won't be quite as fooled. Hopefully. Down bottom, though, there is a Nyx trying to fight this Ursa Illusion. Does he think it's real? He might have some suspicion that it's taken a little too much damage to be the real thing. Looks like the Dire are going to clump up mid. They're feeling pretty safe with the Storm Spirit, who is still sitting at 14 kills and only 3 deaths. So, really well played by the Storm so far against these really beefy cores, but will he start falling off after he only has 1400 HP, and most of the Dire heroes are hitting for a very large amount. Ursa running in. He's angry. He's trying to kill this Storm. Storm zipping away with a pretty full mana pool. Spike Carapace coming out, does stun up the Ursa, and Storm tries to tether him in, but not doing much. Looks like Nyx will pop the Dagon and the Impale trying to get this Invoker, but the Invoker will end up going down to the Storm Spirit. Nyx does pay with his life, but is the Storm going to get a double kill off of this? They are going to pop the Ursa's Aegis, which is going to help them a lot, and more of the Dire team are rotating in. So Morphling is coming in, Crystal Maiden ult coming down, doing a very good amount of damage, and Crystal Maiden does Shadow Amulet, and ends up living with their ult still going off, so really well played by the Crystal Maiden in that fight.
You'll make a nice snow angel.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Alright, so Dagger's gonna come in, but there's really not much the Phantom Assassin can do with this. And the the Dire are easily able to take down the Radiant mid tower with 4 of them dead. I want to say 4 of their cores dead, but is that even accurate? They're just all cores. I mean, Morphling's playing like a... not even like a support, just like a flimsy core at this point. In terms of XP, it is now way back in the Dire's favor at almost 4,000. So really good job turning around that last fight into something productive for the Dire. Sunstrike coming out, but the Dire will back off before it hits. No big deal. Crystal Maiden popping another ward up on this high ground. She's been doing such a great job with these wards, sitting on 2 sentries and an observer. But just look at this crazy vision right up there on the mid and the top. Looks like there will be a duel coming out. And Legion, Legion will get the end up getting the extra damage for that, but Storm does get the last hit on that kill. Abaddon ult being popped, but they will end up bringing down the Legion. Storm Spirit grabbing the Invoker, and also the Morphling. He is just unstoppable, sitting at very low health right now, only about 300, but looks like he should be able to get away safely. This Abaddon, though, might pay for his life with a very angry bear coming after him. Storm tethers and tries to zip up to high ground, but will he be troll food? Abaddon does pop his soul ring and does get one hit by the troll because of the loss of HP, and Storm Spirit does end up going down to the Ursa, so really good pickup for the Ursa. Right there. He does now have... looks like he might almost be building a BKB. I'm not quite sure with just the overclub in his inventory. Storm is going to try to be picked off by the bear and the troll, but he might zip. Looks like Storm is able to fight this bear 1v1. Looks like he's going back in on him. I would not suggest that. He does pay with his life as this angry troll is right there and able to just munch on him. Invisibility rune at bottom slot with no vision on that. But there are 2 competing observer wards on this high ground spot right there. Nyx doing the best job he can to solo farm. Only 39 last hits at 25 minutes in the game, but he hasn't been in too much of a farming position. He's just kind of been walking around invisible and seeing what's what. He does now have his Dagon 1, hopefully trying to up that into some real damage dealing power, because he does do a lot on his first hit out of Vendetta. And then with the Dagon on top of that, he might be able to burst some of the squishier heroes like the Invoker, or, you know, at this point even the Morphling is not that tanky at all. And it looks like the Radiant Tower will be left at only 44 HP. They do pick off the Catapult unit, but Invoker better deny that before the next push comes in and feeds the Dire even more gold and experience. Not sure if he's thinking about denying it after he gets this wave, or he's just going to try to fight this push. But it looks like Abaddon is coming in. He wants this tower, and he wants it now. He will end up getting it as the Invoker decides not to deny it and to run for his life. And middle Legion is going to get picked off by this Phantom Assassin with the Mask of Madness. Lucky crit. And the girl fight goes in favor of the Radiant. Illusion Rune at bottom, unscouted out by either team. Storm trying to pick off these Ancients as best as he can, and he's doing a real good job of that. Can't click on him, this fatty little rock is in the way, as he does have his Bloodstone with 6 charges, so has been used, but not totally out of the game. He is able to get a lot more out of that with 18 kills. He's just going to keep snowballing, hopefully, and win this for the Dire. Dire are now sticking together their support trio, or I don't know if Nyx is a support this game, but he's not really one of their carries. He is still pretty squishy at under 1,000 health. In terms of gold, Dire is in favor at about 5,000 HP. Sorry, 5,000 gold. Wow, I am tired today. So they are able to buy, you know, fancier, more damage-dealy things. Storm zipping all the way and using up almost all of his mana pool to get this Invoker who will Shadow Walk his way out or whatever it is. He's invisible. Crystal Maiden ult being popped, and they do, and the Abaddon does get picked off by the Ursa. Storm is able to pick up the Troll Warlord and is now in a man fight with the PA, and will get the double kill on her as well.
You had your warning.
Looks like the Dire's best shot at this point is to bring the creeps back to mid and try to get that tower, as that'll give them a lot more map control and ability to move from, you know, north to south on the map. Hastrian up top is scouted out by the Dire thanks to these amazing Crystal Maiden wards. She does now have a Shadow Blade, so that's how we know we're in a pub game, friends. It's actually not a horrible pickup this game, just because of, you know, the runaway power. If you get caught out by an angry bear, the last thing you can do is stand and fight. So she is just trying to make sure she can get away pretty safely. Storm just YOLOing his mana, zipping up pretty fair away up at top, using about half his mana pool, but with the Bloodstone and all these fun mana items, he should regen up no problem. He does end up grabbing the haste that was at the top rune slot. So down bottom, Nyx taking some heavy harass, but he will Vendetta away and be just fine. Looks like Abaddon might be the unfortunate victim. He does have his ult up, but there are like so many Radiant heroes there that they can just outlast his ult. He is going to try to TP away, but it does get cancelled. And Morphling might be able to pick up the kill on this, as he does put a nice adaptive strike. Although, meanwhile, Legion's able to just pick off the bottom tower like it is butter. So she now does have a crit stick, so that's going to do some damage to the Radiant. If she's able to get that off in duels, that'll just feed her more damage. She is already affected by 42 damage. Dire cleaning up this middle lane. Legion is killed down bottom, but Storm is picking off this bear here, but bear brought friends. Can he stand up against Invoker and the Ursa? Ursa looks like they might be able to get away from this, but Storm zipping with all he's worth and does end up getting the last hit off. Can he 1v1 a Morphling? Morphling pops the replicate, and the Meatball is going to do some serious damage to the Storm Spirit. Invoker will get the kill with the bird damage from the Meatball, and Crystal Maiden is still channeling her ult. I don't know what she's doing that for. She gets pushed back, and she is now invisible thanks to Shadow Blade, so she should be able to run away to safety. Pretty good, there we go. She's actually sitting on almost 1,800 gold, so Nyx Assassin popping out of his Vendetta with his Dagon, so able to pop this Invoker like it is nobody's business. Good job on Crystal Maiden for most likely communicating that to their team, that hey, there's a low health Invoker here. Although Troll is trying to get revenge, gets frozen up and spiked, but not much they can do. Troll is farming pretty well. Looks like he definitely is going with the BKB, picking up the Mithril Hammer since the last time I checked on him. Abaddon rotating towards mid with the rest of the Dire team, trying to see if they can finally push down this tier 2. In terms of net worth, we are seeing the Storm almost double the next highest net worth, both on the Dire. So really good job on the Storm for absolutely carrying this Dire team. I don't know if they'd be able to do that without his very skillful zips. Duel is coming out, but Legion is stunned up. She does end up getting the last hit on the Phantom Assassin and does pick up some nice juicy duel damage from that. So now 5 Dire heroes are sitting in the mid lane, ready to push this Radiant Tower as soon as they have their nice creep wave with them. Looks like it will only be a Troll and Morphling defending this, although they do bring in the Ursa. Troll throwing out some axes, but not really able to force them back, as it's not so much the damage they can do, but they just have amazing lockdown. Meteor coming straight in does catch out most of the Dire team. Abaddon ult being popped, and so much is going on. Nyx Assassin does get a kill on the Invoker. Everyone is zipping around the map. Radiant are frozen up, they're dropping, their health is going down. Abaddon ult is down, but he's getting pretty low. Will the Storm be able to pick off this Ursa with his BKB? Sorry, this Troll with his BKB, and it looks like the Dire will be able to do it. Storm Spirit does get this last hit on the Troll. Another duel coming down, but is on the Morphling replicate. So it looks like Radiant are having a pretty tough game now. It looks like they didn't get enough time for their cores to farm, they didn't get enough done, and they will be paying for that.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures.
Storm zipping deep into the high ground. Very little mana after that, but he's showing he's not afraid. He is boss in this game. Mech is coming out just to keep the Dire heroes nice and healthy.
Radiant's middle tower is under
And the mid tower
attack.
will be going down to the Dire team at their 32-minute mark, so fairly good timing for a team that needed to push quickly and needed to show an advantage quickly. Props again to the Storm Spirit for making sure that happened. He is just forcing the whole Radiant team back. He's an animal right now. Getting jumped on by the PA, though. Has he stayed in too far? It looks like he did not. He did zip to safety. Great job on that, and the Legion Commander does end up getting the pick on the Ursa. Really well orchestrated by the Dire team. Meatball coming out, doing a lot of burn damage. Abaddon ult is being popped, and it looks like maybe aside from this Nyx Assassin, everyone will be able to get away safely. Invoker does pick off the Nyx. Will the Storm go down right here? Is being chased by 2 towers. He does end up zipping away from that. Really good job. Legion ult being popped on him, running away from the Sunstrike. Really good job. Are they going to be able to pick up the troll in return? They will. The Storm Spirit is unstoppable. What a play from him. He knew the Sunstrike was coming out, and he knew he had to turn on this troll or lose his life. Really, really well done. Now 13 charges on his Bloodstone, and a completed Shiva's Guard. He is just absolutely carrying this game. Abaddon is taking some harass. Ult is up in 2 seconds. That should pop fairly soon. There we go. Maybe a bit of a waste of an Abaddon ult, but it will get up pretty fast. Storm Spirit is trying to do what he can. Ult, really quick duel going to the Legion Commander. Able to pick up some nice damage on that. Now sitting at almost 100 bonus damage and hitting for over 300 a pop. There, it looks like they are going to be able to clean up a second set of racks off of this push, as 4 of the Radiant heroes are still dead, and looks like Ursa has pretty much given up in this fight. GGs are being called. I'm not sure it's quite over yet. Maybe if the Radiant are lucky, they could all gang up, and take down the Storm Spirit. That must be a grudge match. He's now sitting at 21,000 net worth, above the 10,000 of the Ursa on the Radiant team, so more than doubling him. Roshan is up, but I don't know what they need for that for. There's an illusion rune top. Maybe just get some more damage off on the Dire team. Looks like they're going to take their time and try to get 3 sets of racks out of this. But honestly, if I were the Dire team, I wouldn't let the Radiant farm up for 1 more second than I had to. Well, they are in a bad position right now. They are still able to farm up and do a lot of damage. Looks like this Storm is going to pick off the troll like it's nothing. Scythe of Vice coming out for him, and he turns that troll into a little piggy and then chops him right up. In terms of XP, this is just absolutely snowballed into the Dire's favorite. Almost 20,000 XP difference. So really, really hard for the Radiant to come back. I really don't know what they can do for that, aside from catch the Storm completely out of position. But they have no lockdown for his zip. They really have no reliable stuns. They have slows, they've got whatever they have, but aside from crazy amounts of bash, really well played by that bash lock right there. But yeah, I mean, that's all they could do, is just hope to get enough damage off while he was slowed and unable to zip. But they really do need to pick up either bashers or stuns or something to keep him in one place so we can't zip away. Morphling Replicate of an Ursa coming out to the top lane, trying to fool this Abaddon. How much are they going to blow for it? Looks like they will try to duel it, but no bonus damage for you, Legion. And the rest of the Radiant team coming in, they do easily pick off this Legion. Abaddon ult being popped, a little prematurely, I'd say. And I don't think he'll be able to get away from this. There are 4 angry Radiant heroes that are ready to eat him right up, and they will. Ursa gets the last hit on that. That'll help him out with his farm. He does pick up a Blade Mail. Storm zipping in, trying to get some revenge. Zipping in onto this Phantom Assassin, who is turned into a nice little piggy right there. Is he going to be able to get a last hit, or is the blurry too much? He does get a last hit, and can he take on this troll with an ult? He's taking a whole lot of damage, might decide to zap away for safety. But the Nyx will, he does miss his impale, but he does get off a nice first hit out of Vendetta. BKB being popped, there's not a whole lot Nyx can do. Troll might be able to pick off this Nyx in the meantime, but can Storm do enough damage? Nyx goes down, and Storm is able to zip in and finish off this troll. Regen rune up top, that might be nice and handy for the Storm Spirit if they're able to scout it out. There is a vision on the bottom ward, which is, bottom rune, which is a bounty rune. Crystal Maiden, not much item progress since we last saw her. She now does have a blink in addition to a Shadow Blade, so she's just super mobile at this point with a Mithril Hammer in her stash. So maybe BKB, maybe Maelstrom. I'm not quite sure what she wants to do with that, but it doesn't really matter. She's been getting off some clutch ultimates that are doing a lot for her team. The Legion Commander rotating in. Are they going to go scout out Roche, or are they just going to try to push bottom and get this done? Legion will end up taking the bounty rune, and she does scout out Roche, says, "It's up, what should we do?" She's going to start it right away. There is no Radiant Vision on this Roshan, so it should be a pretty easy attempt for the Dire. Storm Spirit is solo pushing in the top lane now, trying to get himself some Mega Creeps, but he is going to find... Wow, he is just going in way deep. Shivas pops the piggy, He's just making this Invoker angry, but is he going to pay with his life? He's getting down way too low. He's not able to do enough damage. He does suicide with his Bloodstone to avoid feeding the Radiant any more XP than he has to from that death. But it looks like they will be able to trade a Roche. Legion does get pretty damn low from this Roche, but they will be able to finish it off in time. Aegis going the way of Legion Commander, and Abaddon will grab the cheese. Abaddon now has his ulti, so he's going to have an increased duration ultimate. Sorry, his Aghanims. Wow, I am talking some serious word vomit right now. Legion getting some nice farm up. She does now have her Hyperstone and a finished Daedalus, so she's now going to be critting for a lot of damage. And she's going to do it fast too, so those duels are going to be deadly. You do not want to be locked in combat with her while she can crit and hit you as fast as possible with a Blade Mail to return some of the damage that you're doing to her as well. Abaddon grabbing this double damage rune up top. He does see this Phantom Assassin, who it looks like she does pick up her Maelstrom recipe, so she's trying to farm. She's trying to get her team out of base. She's trying to pick up some mobility here, because she has to be able to push fast if she wants to get anywhere. Nyx now with a comfortable Dagon 4, almost ready to grab his Dagon 5. In fact, he can grab it anytime he wants to at this point. Radiant are doing what they can against these creeps, and they're just kind of grouping up in their base, figuring out what the best strategy is. Is it best to, send someone off on their own lane? Is it best to try and take one convincing team fight? Or is it best to just throw everything they've got at the Storm and hope the rest of the team crumbles? Because he seems like he's really the core of their team at this point, with 29 kills to only 8 deaths. Dire are pretty patient, grouping up in this mid area. There is no Radiant vision on that area. Storm zipping in, trying to catch this Invoker out of position. He does go invisible, and there is no detection on the Storm Spirit. A little frustrating for him. Nyx also invisible, trying to beat Invoker at his own game. Are they able to get a quick kill off? Nyx is going to get stunned up, actually. He does pop his Carapace now, and gets hit by an Adaptive Strike by the Morphling, but it looks like only a PA will be going down to the Legion Commander, and she does grab herself some juicy duel damage on that. Crystal Maiden, Shadow Blade, and Ultimate coming out, but really nothing coming out of that except for maybe a couple creep kills. Ursa trying to go on this Storm Spirit, but he does get stunned up. Pops the Blade Mail to do some damage back to the Storm Spirit. And Nyx will end up getting a kill on the Invoker, showing his patience with that Dagon. BKB Troll now chasing down this Nyx Assassin. Is there anything he can do? Really not much, aside from try to get away with his Vendetta, which is coming up right now. Use your Vendetta, man! There we go. He does manage to get away, and Storm is trying to get a reverse kill on this Troll, and Crystal Maiden ends up taking the last kill for that. The Radiant team are super, super low. The Dire team are super low. Maybe it isn't best for them to try to push high ground now, but Morphling and Ursa are occupied top with this Abaddon with an Ag's ult, so he's going to stay at full health for a long time. Storm zipping in, taking down the last tower on the tower. And will he kill himself to Blade Mail? Storm, stop! There's Blade Mail up. Don't kill yourself. Nyx does get the last kill on that Morphling with his Dagon, which is doing so much damage. This Morphling has had such a tough game at this point. 13 deaths to only 2 kills. Another GG being called, and this time I honestly feel like it might be time. Phantom Assassin trying to jump in on the Storm Spirit, but will get picked off. There's really nothing they can do. This Dire team have really played as a cohesive unit and not allowed this Radiant team to farm at all. Ancient is being tacked, and it looked like this will be a good game for the Dire team. They played really well, absolutely carried by the Storm Spirit, but notable commends to the Crystal Maiden for those clutch ultimates, especially with the invisibility, so they really can't, the Radiant team really couldn't do much against that. So yeah, really well played by the Dire team. When I saw the lineup, I assumed this game was going past 20 minutes. It was absolutely in the Radiant's favor, just because of their unbelievable carry lineup, but I guess it's not true that whoever picks Troll wins, because in this case the Dire were able to pull it off against a Radiant Troll. So very well played. Once again, I'm Annie, aka Android, and if you enjoyed the cast or have some feedback for me, I'd absolutely love to hear it. Leave it in the comments section below, and feel free to like me on YouTube or follow me on Twitch when I do some live casting and live streaming. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will cast another game shortly. Bye!